my name is Mark. We're here on a lovely late winter day, and for my mystery shopper project, I thought we would check out Guitar Center. Right away, I can see that they've got a big logo that I think is okay for attracting customers, kind of showing what they're about. They do have one more sign up there that customers can kind of see from the road, but it's not huge. Yeah. It's right next to the mall, which should be a good location for a Guitar Center. They're getting a whole bunch of runoff from people that might be coming from the mall. And yeah, I think we're ready to go inside.
The first thing we noticed upon walking up that there was a little bit of ice, but for the most part, the walkway leading up to the door was completely clear. So we appreciated that. So opening the front door and taking our first steps inside, we look around, and this place is just filled to the brim with all sorts of music equipment. There's everything looks pretty clearly labeled, like what section it is. They had like a repair section. They had all sorts of musical instruments. They had pedals. They had music stands. They had keyboards. They had really like anything you could think of. This store had. It was just like a fun house of musical equipment. And pretty much within 10 seconds of us walking through the front door, a salesman or a manager asked us what we needed help with. He let us know that he was there to help and point us where we needed to go. Now, I actually went there with the intention of buying some acoustic guitar strings and asked the salesman for help. And he immediately just went down the list of what kind of strings you're looking for, how much you're looking to spend, what have you bought in the past and liked, what kind of music you're trying to play, and I thought he did a very good job of helping me find what I was looking for. Some notes on the general vibe of this store. There's very light rock music playing in the background, not overpowering, but it was there just to add some noise. The lighting was I thought was good. It was not too bright in there, but it was bright enough to it lit up whatever you wanted to be looking at. It was clean in there. I didn't include this footage in here, but the bathrooms were very clean, which is definitely a very good sign of a good business. And just to reiterate how clearly labeled everything is in this store, if you ever got lost, like literally you just look up and you could see a big sign pointing to whatever you wanted to go to. And they call it Guitar Center, and so we went there looking for guitars, but truly there's such a plethora of different musical instruments going in there that I was actually interested in other things. And it's so easy just to go there and just plunk around on any musical instrument that you might have interest in. That they have it, and they have someone who's willing to talk to you about it, maybe point you in the right directions towards lessons on it, and it's just so easy to just go in there and discover different things. They even had a pedal station set up for you to plug in a guitar and just mess around with different pedals, which just produce a different effects, and that was just such a cool little station to try their different products out. And then even with all the variety of different products and different gadgets they had go on, they had such a variety of guitars and amps, which would be like their main sell. And they had so many different brands and very popular models, and that covered different styles of music. Like truly anything you could ever need in a guitar, they have at this place. I will say the the first guitar and amp that I set up on, I could have just been unlucky, but the amp I set up on did seem like it was kind of broken. So I would knock them a point for that, but that's really just a tiny blemish in this overall experience. Another minor thing I think that they could improve on, and I say minor because they did have this element, but I think they could, there's something that could be done to really highlight that they offer, or they're at least partnered up with people that would give lessons, whether like free open classes or like one-on-one lessons that you would pay for. And so like they did have like signs and flyers around, so they did have that element, but I think they could do something a little bit more to really advertise that feature within their store. My last criticism, and again I would take this one with a grain of salt, because my wife and I did go there at like 1 o'clock on a weekday, so that could explain why there's only one person working there. But I think they should maybe consider having another person working there, because if there happen to be a lot of people there, I think it'd be really hard to address the requests and needs of a customer with only one person working there. But again, that really could be just because they don't staff that many people at the time that we came in. Oh, and one more like tiny addendum I would throw in there is that I think their branding and their like the image of their company displayed on the front of their building is really well done. I think they could invest in maybe a bigger sign, or maybe move it somewhere, because it's kind of hard to see out. Like you could see it from the parking lot, but if you were just driving down the frontage road, you would see it. But down the interstate, I think it was actually kind of hard to notice. Maybe they need to like light it up a little bit more. But yeah, just having an obvious sign of what they are, I think they could improve slightly on.
Look at this.
So reflecting on this experience, I really got to highlight how fun the customer experience was, and this really made me realize how important customers interacting with your products and having an expert there to talk to you about it, and just the overall store layout is just so important to your brand, to your products, to your franchise, and how you engage as a business. From a marketing perspective, letting customers, creating an environment where customers can engage with your product is so important, and I felt very comfortable doing that here.
Okay, so we just finished in a Guitar Center, and I would rate the experience pretty positive for the most part. I ended up getting a stand that I think I'll find pretty useful. The salesman helped us right away. He said hi to us as soon as we walked in. I threw a bunch of questions at him, and he answered them all how I'd expect him to. And yeah, I thought it was a really good experience. I would go here again to satisfy my music needs.